Today we're going to be talking about mean absolute deviation. Okay, our definition, the average distance each data point is from a mean. So we've talked about mean before. Mean itself is the average, okay, of our data. So before we added all our numbers up and divided by the number of points we had to find the mean. We'll do that again now. But the mean absolute deviation, the main difference is that we're finding the average distance from that mean number. So what we're finding is the variation of the numbers. So we'll find the midpoint or the average and see how far each data point is. The data as a whole spread out? Is it close together? Does it vary a lot or very minimal? So that's what we're finding out with mean absolute deviation. So our first point is finding the mean. So we're taking all of our numbers, adding them up, and then dividing by the number of values we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and add those up. 58 plus 40 plus 88 plus 60 plus 72 plus 80 plus 66 plus 48. Okay, and I'm going to find the total of that. So once I add those up, I'll give you a little bit of time to add those up. And our total is 512. Okay, so that's our total speed. Now we need to take our total, 512, and divide by the number of values we have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to divide by our total by 8 to find our average. And our average is 64 miles per hour. Okay? So, what we're going to do first is graph or plot, put that point on our line that is our mean. So 64, 62, 64. Yeah, I'll color it in. 64 is our mean. So I'm going to put, that's our mean. Alright, so now I'm going to point every spot or every point on our graph or on our line that we have in our chart. So 58, 40, 88, 60, 72, 80, 66, and 48. Alright. Every point is plotted. Now we want to find the average distance those points are from our midpoint. Okay, so what we're going to do first is find the variation. What is the distance or difference between 40 and 64? Okay, so you can either figure that out on the number line and say count the points, or you can do basic subtraction. So from here to here, our subtraction, our difference from 64 to 40 is 24. Okay, now our next one, 48 to 64. Okay, the difference from that, if you can't do it in your head, do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, or just take your numbers and subtract. Okay, so 16. And I'm just going to write these in a line right now. Okay, next one is, I believe that's 58. Okay, find that difference of 6. From 60 to 64, our difference is 4. From 64 to 66, our difference is 2. Okay, from 64 to 72, our difference is 8. From 64 to 80, our difference is 16. From 64 to 88, our difference is 24. Okay? So what you're going to do with the average distance, okay, define the average distance, you're going to add up all the distances, all the differences from our points of the speeds of our cars to the mean. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find the average of the average. Okay, so 24. So same situation as we did before to find the mean. You're going to add all your variables up, your values, okay, and then you're going to divide by the number of values you have. So 24 plus 16 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 8 plus 16 plus 24. Okay, so you're going to add all those up just like we did before and divide by the number of values you have is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and when I add all those up, I get 100. Okay, once again, I'm going to divide by the number of values I have. 100 divided by 8, I get the answer of 12.5. Okay, this is the mean absolute deviation, okay, or abbreviation MAD, M-A-D. Okay, so this is telling us that these numbers that are listed in our chart, these numbers that you plot aside from the mean, okay, are an average distance of 12.5 values away from our mean. So you've got some at 24, you've got some all the way up to 2. So we're taking that average of each of these points and finding that how spread out this is. So each point has a difference of 12.2 or 12.5, excuse me. Okay, so it's pretty short, so if you have any questions, let me know.